So unfortunately, a lot of people are still really confused about what OCD recovery actually looks like, which is understandable because the mainstream narrative doesn't really teach you what changing beliefs and developing unconditional self-life and other acceptance is all about. My name is Matt and I'm peacefully wired. And when I see people comment and say things like what I say is dangerous and that saying that there's one way to recover from OCD is not correct because there's many different ways. And I personally don't believe that. But the thing is what do you think recovery is? What do you want your recovery to be? Right? Because a lot of people think that recovery is just, I don't feel anxious 24/7 and the thoughts don't bother me as much, but I still struggle a great deal. And you hear a lot of people talking about symptom management, managing their OCD. Well, I don't manage my OCD. It's there because I have a brain disorder where I will always have the OCD brain, but I don't manage my OCD in any kind of a way. Now, OCD recovery does not mean a walk in the park. I am literally walking in a park right now, but that's not what OCD recovery is. It doesn't mean that something might not still make me anxious or uncomfortable, or when someone has a really whacked out opinion about something that it might sting and make me go, I'd really like to argue with this person, but I also accept that people have their own opinions and they're entitled to those things if they want to have them. That's why I don't interact with anybody that comments on my page in a negative way and says things to me or says things about what I'm talking about, because it doesn't really matter to me. So when you look at OCD recovery and you want to say, well, saying that there's only one way is dangerous, well, what way do you believe recovery happens? Because if you think recovery is managing your symptoms and telling yourself thoughts are just thoughts, having to do ERP all of the time still, breathing exercises, grounding techniques, meditating, mantras, all of this stuff, if you believe that that is recovery and you just don't feel as much anxiety as you did, and you cut a bunch of your compulsions, my guess is you're still doing a lot of compulsions and avoidance behaviors, especially if you're telling yourself thoughts are just thoughts, maybe yes, maybe no, doing grounding, doing breathing, all this stuff are quite compulsive still, especially if you're doing them to stay calm and keep your anxiety at bay. So what do you believe OCD recovery is? If you believe it's symptom management, then yes, there's lots of ways to get there. If you believe that OCD recovery is being free of managing your symptoms, that's what I'm talking about. And if you want to know what that looks like,